let me copy this and add it here. Other web page URL. Paste here. Okay. Give me a P. Give me an I. Give me a P and an E. What's that spell? Pipe! What the hell are we doing? That's really good. That's really good. I'm not gonna lie, that's really good. Anyway, thank you for sharing that. I would have been really sad if I hadn't seen that. Ace and Lotus stood in front of the door number 9. Santa was curled into a ball against the wall of the incinerator, holding his stomach. Then there was June. She sat slumped against the wall, exhausted. What had happened? Junpei ran toward June. He skidded to a stop in front of her and knelt down. What's wrong? Are you okay? Her face was pale and her lips dry. When she spoke, he could barely hear her. Dumpy, you came to get me. Of course I did. I made a promise. I'm so glad you're here. So glad. She mumbled the same words over and over, weakly. Junpei could feel his heart breaking. Hey, what happened to you? I'm fine. I just fainted. I wasn't feeling very good. I'm feeling a lot better now, though. Are you sure? Yes. I just need to rest a little longer. I'm sure I'll be fine. You shouldn't worry about me. She was looking toward Santa. Junpei turned to look as well. Santa grimaced, his face contorted in pain. Seven grabbed him by the collar and roared at him. Hey, where is it? Where's the gun? You hide it somewhere? Erg. Despite himself, a grunt of pain escaped Santa's lips as Seven shook him. I don't have it. I got a sucker punch then. They took the gun. What? Who took it? What? Isn't that obvious? I took the gun. Oh, this again. Ace. He did have the revolver in his hand. It was pressed against Lotus' temple. Ace had pinned her to him with the other arm, and she was shaking visibly. Her fiery attitude was gone, replaced with fear. Haven't we seen this picture before? There was sweat on her forehead, and when her eyes weren't flickering at the gun pressed against her, they seemed to desperately want to say something. Just what the hell do you think you're doing, Ace? Or maybe I ought to say Gentaro Hongo, CEO of Crowd Pharmaceutical? Lotus is in danger again. Yep. Seven's deep baritone rumble shook the wall. Oh, baritone. Lotus roll, hacker and hostage. Yeah, pretty much. Eye candy. Forgot eye candy. Ace sneered. You have me at a disadvantage, and I don't like that. You know me, but I don't know you. Do you have any idea how much I've suffered? Can you even begin to understand my pain? The pain of prosopagnosia, right? Junpei's voice was casual, or at least, it was trying to be. Another irritating insect. Lotus is a Triple H. Ah. And how do you know that, Junpei couldn't say, he just knew. Another unexplained mystery. No matter. If you don't want to answer, it makes no difference to me. This is a waste of time anyway. It's time for me to go. Hacker, hostage, hottie. Makes sense, yeah. Behind Ace, Junpei could see the red. It was placed in the small indentation on the wall. Quickly, Ace placed his hand on the scanner. It beeped, and he forced Lotus's hand onto it as well. Another beep. And at last he reached into his pocket and he pulled out something and put it against there. And it's a 9. The third asterisk appeared, and it's another 9. 9. Then the thing he used for the final verification was the bracelet with the number 9. It had belonged to the first man to die. Kubota. Yeah, we already knew this. I believe I won this game. His smirk made Junpei's blood boil. I've had quite a time playing with you. I must thank Zero, I suppose. Wait, something about the way he'd spoken. Did Ace not know who Zero was? Junpei's eyes flickered towards Santa. He hadn't moved since they'd entered the room. Santa was still holding his stomach and groaning as if in immense pain. Junpei wasn't sure if it was real pain, but he wasn't sure it wasn't either. What the hell did Santa have up his sleeve this time? At any rate, this game ends now. I will escape, and the rest of you will have a slightly less pleasant ending. I suggest you enjoy the final moments. Goodbye! Wait! Ace, of course, paid no heed to Seven's request and laid off the lever and laid hold of the lever on the red. With the sickening sense of finality, he pulled it. What? Why isn't it opening? Lotus tried to take advantage of Ace's confusion and managed to twist herself out of his grab, but the last second he grabbed hold of her wrist and shoved it into the red. He waved the number 9 bracelet over the red and then his own bracelet as well. He pulled the lever a second time. No, what is this? Why? The digital route to be 9. It has to be 9. Then why isn't it opening? Ace's fury and confusion had overridden all other thoughts. He had set down the revolver. It was just below the red. Seven chose that moment to act. He moved faster than a man of his bulk should have been able to, and he launched that bulk straight at Ace. 6. No, it's Grr. It's a G, not a 6. Grr. I'm Hulk. I'm surprised no one has made that joke already. It was over before they knew it. In the blink of an eye, Ace was on the floor. He rolled into his side, groaning in pain. Ugh. Lotus ran straight for Junpei. She darted behind him and stuck her head out, making sure to keep Junpei between herself and Ace. That was close, too close. Thank you, Seven. Hulk smash! Don't mention it. I mean, I'm just a cool detective or something here, Seven stood over Ace, his breathing slow and heavy. Just 1 point ain't enough for this piece of shit. After what he did 9 years ago, I oughta rip him to pieces. But if a suspect can't talk, they ain't much good. Once he's locked up in a cell, we're gonna have a little chat. 9 years ago? Ah, then you must be. Yeah, you finally figure it out. Dumbass. Ace planted his hand on the floor and shook his head. Junpei walked toward him. He stopped and looked down at Ace, with pity on his face. Ace, you killed Kubota, Nijisaki, and Musashiro, didn't you? Wait, Nijisaki? He peered at Junpei, genuinely confused. Oh, right. You don't know yet. Alright, we'll just go through him in order then. Let's start off with Kubota. You talked to Kubota and managed to convince him to go into door 5 alone. You killed him without making it look like you killed him. The way I figured out, you had 4 motives. 1. In the non-RA game, the number 9 was dangerous. Whoever had the number 9 bracelet could join whatever team they wanted. You could add 9 to any number, and the digital route wouldn't change. 1 plus 9 equals 10, which equals 9, which equals 2, and 3, and so on and so forth. In other words, number 9 could do whatever they wanted. Ace had wanted to remove the threat as soon as possible. 2. Ace also wanted to have the number 9 bracelet to himself, so that he could make use of its power. In fact, he later made use of it in the murder of Nijisaki. 3. Even if his number had been different, Kubota presented a problem for Ace. Kubota had known Ace's past. He knew what happened 9 years before. Before he told anyone, Ace had to silence him. 4. But last, and perhaps most disturbing, Ace had used Kubota as a test. He wanted to know how serious this nunnery game was. Was it true life, or death, or simply a harmless prank? Ships exploded, time for more stories! Boom! It's not like we have one more puzzle to go, Not like we have one more puzzle to go. He convinced Kubota to break the rules, so that he might see what happened. That was why you killed Kubota. But he was only the first. Next was Nijisaki. While everyone was off looking for the missing part of the red, you ran into Nijisaki near the big hospital room. However, because of your prosopagnosia, you didn't realize he was Nijisaki. Chiefly because, when you met him, he was dressed as like Snake. That was why you thought Nijisaki was Snake. No, that's not... That was Nijisaki? Why? How did... I'll get to that. Anyway, you thought he was Snake. Snake was one of the kids in your experiment 9 years ago. You remembered him because he was the blind kid, but his presence made you think. Snake was one of my subjects 9 years ago. He probably hates me, but if that's true, why isn't he saying anything? Is he keeping quiet because he can't see? Or perhaps he's working with Zero to get revenge on me? Whatever the reason, anyone who knows my past is a threat. Oh, does this explain Snake's wardrobe change? Yeah, he was, because Ace has prosopagnosia, which means he cannot decipher faces, he cannot remember faces. He remembers clothing on people, so he thought that it was, that Nijisaki was Snake because Nijisaki was wearing Snake's clothes, while Zero somehow, I don't know how this happened, changed clothes with Snake, and the Snake was put in the coffin. Good. Whatever the reason, anyone who knows me past is a threat. Before he tries anything, I need to get rid of him. That was when you decided you had to kill him. The murder weapon was Kubuta's bracelet. You just waved it over the red. Verified your own number, then grabbed Nijisaki's arm and forced it over the scanner panel. Then when the door opened, you kicked him in. 9 seconds later, the door closed. We just don't know how Nijisaki actually happened to have that number 2 of Snake. That's the part we haven't figured out. There's one thing that I don't buy, the change of personality of Junpei when he's explaining Ace's plan. Yeah, it's actually throwing me off a little bit, both times in the past ending and in this ending. And then 81 seconds passed, and the poor Nijisaki was dead. Then you mean to say Snake is still alive? Sorry to disappoint you, but I'm good as new. Thank you for killing the wrong man, but I can say I like knowing that you wanted me dead. Although, to be honest, even if you hadn't tried to kill me, I would still hate you very much. Well, I wouldn't blame you. Wasn't it because Snake's prosthetic arm? Yeah, I guess so, but then how does he have the 2 in his arm? Because we used that to move, remember? A self-derision was frustrating, but Junpei kept his emotions in check and continued. Last but not least, let's talk about Musashido's death. When Clover and I were investigating the chart room, you came over to talk to me. Do you remember what you said? Oh, a pocket watch. Might I take a look at it? I handed you the pocket watch and you left the room. Ace had been in charge of the nunnery project. He would know, of course, he would, of course, have known the solution to every puzzle. It followed then that he knew how to get it out of the wheelhouse. All Ace had to do was place the pocket watch in the indentation on the door to unlock it. With the door open, he was able to enter the captain's quarters. Musashido was there. Next to him was an axe that fairly begged Ace to kill Musashido with it. I don't think Tall Guy had it too. Then how did he enter the door? Because it was only Ace, then whoever, Nijisaki, and the 9th bracelet. So he still needed a 2 to open the door. See, that's where it is. That's the thing. He picked up the axe and swung it, burying the blade deep in the other man's chest. One blow was all it took. Afterward, Ace returned to the chart room as though nothing had happened. There was something I wanted to speak with you about, Junpei. The 9th man didn't have a 9. That's true, yeah. Or maybe he did. Who knows? There was something I wanted to speak with you about, Junpei. Could you come with me for a moment? With no reason not to, Junpei had followed Ace to the wheelhouse. When they reached the wheelhouse, Ace slipped his hand into Junpei's vest. He pulled out a piece of paper, the piece of paper Junpei had used to cheat during the vote. But it wasn't a piece of paper that Ace was after. His true purpose had been to slip the pocket watch into Junpei's pocket. It wasn't a very good plan. It had far too many flaws, and the wrong word of discovery could easily have toppled it. What made Ace so desperate? That was the only thing Junpei hadn't been able to figure out. Musashido's murder is the only one I don't understand. He obviously did it, but why? Otherwise, their door should have opened with Ace and Lotus with him. I don't know, we can discuss this when I'm not... Would it make sense if another number, because the 9th man wouldn't be able to open door 5? Yeah. That's another thing, yeah. Because of this, slowly Ace reached down